Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting show here today. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is K.L.P Tonight, Saturday's episode, January 29th. We are here. We're live. We're here in the studio of K.L.P Studios, FX Studios of Atlanta. Welcome back to the show, guys, because we have so much we want to talk about here today. I do want to give a shout out to all of my producers. Tyrus is one of the big producers over there. He's over there by the light kit, and he's making sure that we look good on the streaming services, streaming our shows live for, of course, YouTube, Spotify video, Daily Motion, and of course, later on, you guys will. By the time we end the show here today, I mean, there's going to be an audio version of this for Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm super stoked to be back here at K.L.P Tonight. We're not in the studio. We don't have the microphone. We don't have all the access, phantom power we do for the podcast because this is a talk show for you guys. I love it when I come back to these talk shows because it's been a while. It's been a minute since we've been doing talk shows because, and I think we talked about this in the last episode too, but you know, we're dabbling into going back into content creating because you guys enjoy it. And you guys tweeted at me before and said, hey, we missed the talk shows where you're wearing a suit. And of course, I'm able to wear a suit and to really be interactive with you guys on the show here on stage. And I'm stoked. I'm glad to be back. And let me tell you a little tidbit for you guys. When we do our talk shows, believe it or not, talk shows have the less equipment than podcast shows do. Let me tell you, there's microphones, there's phantom powers, there's auxiliary cables, there's XLR cables, there's headphones. There's so much involved when doing a production of a podcast versus an actual talk show. You know, we have the cameras, the light kit, boom, we're ready to go. So, and of course, the studio, we're ready to go. So you guys didn't want to hear me babble on about the setup. We do have quite a few things that I want to talk to you guys about today. And of course, we have some news-related news, but of course, we do have some gaming related news, but we have some real life related trending news out there for the week. Of course, this week is a great, it's a great week for gaming, but honestly, February is a fantastic, great week for gaming. Now, if you guys are not part of unfortunately, the PlayStation fandom yet, because you're still waiting to get your PlayStation 5. I really do hope we can get PlayStation 5s in everyone's hands because everyone wants to have the idea. Everyone wants to have the feel of the PlayStation 5. With the chip shortage, is one of those things that, you know, is a high demand for this and the supply is not there. But if you do happen to have a PlayStation 5, congratulations, first of all. Of course, February 18th, I'm so stoked about it because Horizon Forbidden West will be coming out February 18th. That will be a $70 purchase for me, of course. I read the news, and guys, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge gamer at heart. I've been playing video games practically almost all my life because I love video games. That's one of the things that's a stress reliever for me. And as a content creator, I get to play these games and review the games for you guys. So I will be buying Horizon Forbidden West so that way I can review it for you guys. There's been so many news about this game, and it has gone gold. Of course, a lot of game company reviewer companies went out and they were able to get the early access of this game, Horizon Forbidden West. And a lot of people have played it, and this game has been retrieved as going gold. That is a great idea, a great thing for Guerrilla Games, meaning that this is the top tier game that PlayStation has out right now. Everyone will be lined up to buy this game. I will get this game digital because I like buying digital games now. I rarely go to GameStop to buy physical games. Sometimes I do, but I'm kind of, I'm on the digital space now to where my card's on file. I can just go to the PlayStation store, bam, buy a game with ease in my own comforts on my own home. So excited for this because I played the first one. First one was fantastic for PlayStation 4. Aloy, the character Aloy, the main character, she was fantastic in this first one. After me seeing the reviews about this second one and seeing what's going on with the second one, there's a lot going on with this. There's a lot more story, a lot of more openness, a lot of achievements that you have to do for the game. So many characters in this second one. So many characters are going to be in the second one. And of course, it's out for PlayStation 5. That is the highest tier right now with graphics, with performance mode, fidelity mode, 4K capability, haptic feedback on the controller. So much is going on with this game. That's why this game has gone gold. I'm super happy about it. I'm ready for it. February 18th. It's going to be a great month for gamers out there, and for Xbox too, but for PlayStation, it's a great month, of course. Uncharted upgrade came out today, so if you do have a copy of the Uncharted 4 at Thieves End or Lost Legacy copy, you will be eligible for a $10 upgrade from Naughty Dog. Of course, they're calling it the Uncharted, the Legacy Thieves Collection. You gotta get this water in, y'all. Yeah, thank you. So we've been talking all week with podcasts, and sometimes at the end of the week, my voice get a little dry, so I have to kind of spritz it up with water when I do these kind of shows because I want to be very energetic for you guys. But of course, Uncharted Legacy. A Legacy of Thieves collection. See, I'm so excited because I went out and excuse me, I went out and upgraded the game too because when you have a copy of Uncharted A Thieves End, of course, you're able to get the upgraded for $10. And I tweeted about it. You guys can follow me on Twitter. It's Kennedy Lucas K.L.P. I tweeted about this because I remember when it was 2018. I'm not sure if that was the year that Uncharted came out. But in 2018 was the era of when I first got my PlayStation 4. I know a lot of you guys are saying, hey, Kennedy, Lucas, you're late to the game. 2018, you just now getting a PS4? Yes, because I've been an Xbox player. So I've been playing a lot of Xbox One from 2016 and up to 18. All I had was a PlayStation 3 and an Xbox One. So when Spider-Man came out in 2018, I said, okay, yeah, I need to get a PS4 because I want to play a new Spider-Man game. So I ended up getting Uncharted, and I played Uncharted when it came out because a buddy of mine had a copy, and I played around with it. And I bought an own copy because I went to GameStop, right? And that copy was $10. It was like pre-owned $10. Like, heck yeah, that's a deal. So I paid Uncharted 4 PlayStation 4 version for $10, and I loved it. I played it twice. I beat it twice. It was fantastic. So when I heard that the Legacy of Thieves collection came out, and they said, "Hey, if you have a copy of Uncharted 4 for PlayStation 4, insert it in your PS5, and you'll be eligible for a $10 upgrade." Of course, I plugged it up at my house, my PlayStation 5, and put the game disc in, and of course it popped up, hey, you can upgrade this, get the Thieves collection for $10. You get a Lost Legacy and a Thieves End remastered, redone for PlayStation 5. So honestly, I hope that everyone took advantage of that deal because that's one of the things that I'm excited for. I'm really excited for because it's at my house right now downloading, and I can't wait to play it tonight so I can give you guys an in-depth review on K.L.P Aftermath. But very, very excited for that. Of course, Naughty Dog, they've done it right. Of course, Neil Druckmann went to Twitter, and a lot of people was asking him, will there be more Uncharted games? He didn't say no. There's probably not going to be one in development until very long because, of course, they're going to have to remaster The Last of Us. You got the Uncharted movie to come out very soon. And, of course, you got The Last of Us TV show that's coming out. So Naughty Dog is still getting their money's worth. They're still getting out there and getting their money's worth with the current content that they have. So do I think Uncharted 5 will come out sooner or later? I predict in 2024 we might see something of Uncharted 5 come out. Maybe it's a spinoff between Nathan's brother and Cassie, the daughter of Nathan and Elena. Who knows? A lot can happen. So I do predict there's going to be an Uncharted 5 coming out. It just won't be soon. It's going to be 2024, maybe in 2025, maybe, because, Uncharted 4 just came out. Lost Legacy kind of just came out. Now they have the remastered version of it. So Naughty Dog, they have their money. They're working on other projects right now. So I don't see Uncharted 5 coming out in 2023, maybe 2024, maybe 2025. It's just one of those things. I do hope PlayStation think about their exclusives because we all know about Xbox and what they've been doing. PlayStation, if you're watching, we need Sly 5. Where's Sly Cooper 5 coming? When is that coming out? Because I can't wait to see the next Sly game in PlayStation 5. So, of course, more news announcements. We're talking about sports a little bit, and I'm so excited about this. But a lot of people talked about it today. This is one of those situations where you have it to where something comes out as a rumor, and people spin it off to tell a story. Now, I don't know if this rumor has been confirmed, but it has been rumored at first that Tom Brady will be retiring after 22 seasons. So I wanted to talk about it here on the show because I honestly think this is a rumor. Tom Brady can go for an eighth ring. We probably was looking for that eighth Super Bowl ring this year. He didn't quite make the cut. I don't think, and this might be updated by the time I upload this episode because this might be true. I don't know yet. But at first, as the time of us recording the show, is a rumor. CNN picked it up, NBC picked it up, ESPN picked it up. A lot of people picked this story up and said, okay, thank you for serving. Thank you for playing in the NFL. Thank you for the amazing memories. I honestly think it's a rumor because I did see that on Twitter. And of course, sources say that Tom Brady Sr., Tom Brady's father, said that Tom Brady's not retiring. And of course, Tom Brady also made a statement that I haven't made a decision on what I'm going to do yet. So I don't understand the whole rumor getting told into a story. Tom Brady, if you're somehow watching this show, great career, honestly. Let's give it up to Tom Brady real quick. Yes. Tom Brady has given us some wonderful memories. 7 Super Bowl rings. Played for the Patriots for the longest. He's made his fortune, right? He married Gisele Bündchen for Christ great models out there in the world. He married one of the best models out there in America right now. So I feel like Tom Brady has done it all. He has 6 Super Bowl rings. Tom Brady is rich, so he's not going to go broke if he decides to retire. He is rich for life. So if he were to retire, it would be a great retirement plan. It's great 401k. Multi-millionaire football player. He's got an amazing wife, got amazing kids. So I don't see if he retires. If the rumors are out that he is going to be retiring, and it's going to be done with the season. I mean, he's technically done with the season right now. But if he do decide to retire, I think it's a great way to go out. 7 Super Bowl rings. He made his fortune. But it's just speculation. He might say I'm retiring, but he might miss football. He might come back for one more season to try for the 8th ring. It's all a marketing scale too. So there's both ways he can go with his retirement, or if he's not retiring, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, go right with that too. So it's just a rumor right now, and I wish a lot of people. We're living in the social age where people are hearing about these stories about celebrities or football players or athletes, and they take it and they spin it. You know, a lot of people has been taking things for the past couple of weeks, taking a story, twisting the story so that way they can make a sell. We just looked at, of course, CNN did a topic about Tom Brady retiring, but you got to remember they did a story about Joe Rogan, famous podcaster. I'm learning from him when the podcast game. They took his Instagram story and they made him look sick when he confirmed his positive with COVID-19. So a lot of people now we're taking things and we're twisting it, we're bending it up a little bit to give you guys a story. That's one thing you don't see on our show, K.L.P Aftermath and K.L.P Tonight. I'm not going to take a story and spin it and lie just to make a quick buck, to make a quick sell. We make good viewership by telling the truth and telling what is true. So Tom Brady, again, congratulations if you're watching the show. Do I think you're retiring? You said it yourself. You haven't made any decisions on what you want to do as of right now. So, you know, it is what it is. Next topic of conversation, real quick, we're going to talk about Ozark, ladies and gentlemen. Ozark, of course, season 4 is now available on Netflix. I'm still trying to keep up with Ozark. There's so many shows coming out right now that there's just so many shows that's out right now. Of course, Grownish just came out with their next season. I think this is their final season. So, and Blackish has their 8th season that's out right now. And there's so many shows I'm watching right now. I can't keep up with them all. So, of course, this weekend we close operations on Sunday and we don't do much on Monday. So maybe I might binge watch while playing Uncharted, upgraded version, trying to catch up on these shows. But if you are a huge Ozark fan, I recommend you guys checking out Ozark. It's such a good show right now on Netflix. I'm still on season 2. I know season 4 is out, but I'm still on season 2 because again, there's so many shows that are out right now that I just cannot get to. But eventually, I will get to you guys. I will get to Ozark because I do want to write about Ozark in Element magazine. But just a little, not a sponsor, but just kind of a shout out to Ozark. Jason Bateman, of course, he was on Jimmy Kimmel. No, Jimmy Fallon, I believe, on a couple days ago, and I watched his interview. It made me want to talk about it here on K.L.P tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, next, let's talk about Ari Lennox, y'all. Yes. We got to give it to Ari Lennox because she's been going through it, of course. So many podcasts and radio shows have been talking about Ari Lennox. I'm talking, of course, Hot 97, The Breakfast Club, Joe Budden's podcast. Everyone was talking about Ari Lennox. She recently went to South Africa to do a podcast interview with Mac G. Mac G, I think that's the podcaster's name from South Africa. He wanted to do an exclusive podcast about with Ari Lennox, and of course, Ari Lennox is one of the most influential female R&B singers out there we have right now. I say one of them because I can't say she's the best because you got her, you got Justine Scott, you got Lyrica Anderson, you got so many R&B singers right now, so I can't just single her out. But Ari Lennox said it, of course, on Twitter and on social media that she is done with the music in general. And here's just my thoughts about it. It sucks about how Ari Lennox had to go on the show. I did listen to parts of his podcast, and this is one of the things I would say this is a big no-no to podcast hosts, and it makes us podcasters, because believe it or not, I am a podcast. We're doing kind of a podcast right now. I'm kind of a podcaster myself, and I really hate it when people that is in the podcast community make us podcasters and radio personalities look bad. There was a line in her song, one of her songs. I'm not going to quote it here because K.L.P tonight, we are a PG show. So I'm not going to quote it. You guys can listen to the song. You know what I'm talking about. But there was an explicit lyric that Ari Lennox have said in her lyric in one of her songs. And of course, the podcaster Mac G kind of inappropriately asked her about who she's dating and who she's dating. Let's just keep it again. We're a PG show, T. So I really want to say what I really want to say, but we're a clean show. But how the way the podcaster should have handled it, I honestly think he could have asked that better. There's just podcasting 101. You don't need to go to school about learning how to podcast. It's just podcast 101. If you're interviewing someone this huge like Ari Lennox and you want to know her dating situation, there's a polite way of asking it. And if she just doesn't want to say, I'm dating my music right now, or she says, hey, I don't want to talk about it, then you move on to the other questions and make it a great podcast. You don't keep drilling. You don't keep prying her out of information just to get you a little buzz for your show. Mac G, I haven't heard of him. I mean, I haven't heard of his podcast. I'm assuming that he's a big podcaster. If you had to get Ari Lennox on the show, I wish we can get Ari Lennox on K.L.P Aftermath season 2, but we're just not that huge. But we're doing okay. But there's a way to ask somebody about their relationship if you want to ask them about it. On my show, I'll never ask. If I ever interview somebody on my podcast, I never ask, so who you dating? So who you seeing? Like, that's such an inappropriate way to do it. Although, if you say some explicit stuff in your song, you have to be prepared what comes with it, Ari Lennox. Now, a lot of us radio people, we also want to get, not me, because I don't really want to, I don't want to pry on a guest for a show, but most podcasters want to get the juiciness out of it. She says some explicit things in her song. So, of course, the radio personality like Mac G, the host, he wants to pry that information out to make it a great show. How the way he could have handled it, he could have handled it a little bit better. But he asked that, and he kept prying, he kept doing it. So if you're going to say some explicit stuff in your song, you got to be prepared to have people questioning it. People question about my songs back in the day, because you guys know I'm a music producer as well. We've got Interstellar Plus Coffee coming out February 12th. Hopefully you guys listen to it on Tidal and Apple Music. Shameless plug there. But People have questioned about the songs I made in the past where I've said some explicit things, whether I'm rapping on the song or if having my producer or my artist rather, because I'm the producer, my artist might say something very explicit. A lot of people comment below and say, hey, why did he say that? Oh, why did he say it like this? So you got to be prepared what comes with the territory of the rap game, the music game as well, because people are going to pry for that. Now, Ari Lennox did say that she was done with music and her label. Um, Honestly, I don't think she's done. If she is done, it sucks because I'm a big Ari Lennox fan, but there's other people out there, Ari Lennox, that's wanting to take your spot. A lot of young female artists will try to study from your songs, learn from you, and try to make another copy of you, even maybe a better copy of you if you leave the music industry. I honestly, and Ari Lennox, I hope she's watching this show. I honestly think you shouldn't quit music because of one podcaster got on your bad nerve, that one show. I don't think that's something you need to quit music for because you're very, very talented. You're very, very wealthy. You're very, very motivated in the music industry. Why do you want to quit music because of one podcaster? One radio personality questioned you. One out of thousands of podcasters. Uncle Murder said it best in his wrap up song 2021. He's so sick and tired of so many podcasts because it's oversaturated. We are, because there's thousands of podcasters and radio personalities out there that won't ask you that. You have that one podcaster in South Africa, beautiful place, by the way. I haven't been, but I've seen pictures. But that one podcaster got on your nerves. And Ari Lennox, what you do? Oh, I'm done with music. I'm done. I'm getting out of this game. Now, if you want to leave the game, fine. It sucks for fans like me who actually do love Ari Lennox and her and Justine Skye and Brooke Valentine, many more R&B female singers right now. We need more female R&B singers because there's so many male R&B singers. I am an R&B singer, well, it's kind of singer, but I'm more of an R&B producer now. But I'm in the R&B game myself. There's so many male R&B singers. We need more female R&B singers. And for you, Ari Lennox, to say one podcaster got on your nerves and you say, I'm done. I quit. Honestly, Joe Budden said it the best in his podcast. If you do want to leave this music industry, sucks, but there's a lot of talented people out here in this world. And in the music industry, is very competitive. It is. I know a little bit about it. I don't know too much. Hey, I'm not trying to compare myself to these big time R&B singers, but I know a little bit about the R&B game, the music industry. We're dabbling into it. There's a lot of competition. It just sucks. It does. I was very frustrated when I saw it because, I honestly think Ari Lennox, if you're watching, you shouldn't quit because of one podcaster. Screw them. I mean, that's all I can say. Screw them. I mean, there's many more podcasters that will help you shine and love. I honestly think it was a label thing. I think something she's mad at her label. Now, if you want to switch labels, sure. There's thousands of labels you can sign to. That's no problem. But for you to say, "Oh, I'm done with music," come on, Ari. For one podcaster that got on your rough, and I know you felt uncomfortable. He did drill. Now I'm not sticking up for him. He drilled you in that question. Very inappropriate question he asked, but he's just one guy on one show versus thousands of us podcasters and radios. But I digress. Ari Lennox, I'm sending healing energy to you for sure because it's just one of those things. It's unfortunate. I don't want you to leave. I really don't want you to stop music because your music is very, very good. But healing energy to Ari Lennox for sure. Of course, speaking of the music game, of course, I know you guys, and there's a topic of conversation that I want to talk about at the end of the show because this really grinds my gears. But we're still sticking on the music for Spotify because a lot of people, due to the COVID mandates and this thing, I don't know the artist, and I forgot the artist's name, but it had something to do with Joe Rogan as well. His music got removed. He wanted to remove his music on Spotify. And then another artist wanted to remove their music on Spotify. And I wanted to talk about this because Spotify, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Spotify is one of the biggest audio platforms that you can get out there right now. A lot of artists like myself, we dabble into streaming services because it's hard to get the radio out there to play our songs. And that is the new wave that everyone wants to go. I don't listen to car radio anymore in the year 2020. I have my phone. I'm loading up my Spotify. If I'm going to the gym with my brother, we have Spotify open. If I'm going to the Emory office in Atlanta, I have Spotify open. If I'm going to the Emory office in Oxford, I have my Spotify open. So I don't listen to radio. That's the point of that. But you say you want to remove your songs from Spotify. Where are you going to take it? You're going to keep it on iTunes, where few people still listen to iTunes. It's hard to get the title. If you got the title, if you're on title, kudos. With our album, Interstellar Plus Coffee, coming to title as well, February 12th. Can't wait for it. It's hard to get your music distributed to these big distributions and these audio streaming services. So for you to say, and I'm forgetting the artist, T, but for artists to start taking their music down for Spotify, I don't think it's going to hurt anybody but yourself. When I have my music on there for Spotify, again, Interstellar Plus Coffee, February 12th, I'm not going to just take my release down because of what Spotify says about COVID-19 and the mandates and the flu shots and the vaccine shots. Don't bring politics into your business, is what I'm saying. A lot of people are bringing politics, about this COVID-19 vaccine. Whether you believe it or not, that's completely up to you. The flu shot, again, whether you believe it or not, we're not going to talk about politics on the show, but a lot of people are getting confused with that and stopping their services, stopping their business because of their beliefs. Now, I believe in great ethic code and believe in ethical stuff when it comes down to it. But one of those things that you guys would never, and I'm talking to my staff now, I would never bring politics when it comes to K.L.P Entertainment. We don't condone politics. You might see politics on Vox TV channel because that's our streaming broadcast episode channel, and we have to have some shows. But outside of that, we're not going to bring politics into our music, Interstellar Plus Coffee. We're not going to bring politics in From Your Lover Friend. Of course, that's my other album that's also coming out February 22nd. You guys saw it, A Black versus White, my new album, hip hop album coming out in March. We're not talking about politics in our business. So it kind of does suck that these two artists, I'm blanking out on their names to you. Hopefully I can get back to you guys on the names. Oh, I'm going to take my stuff off of Spotify and I'm not going to get streaming service money no more because of politics. So you're going to be broke. You're not going to continue your business on one of the biggest platforms, Spotify, because of your beliefs about this vaccine or about this flu shot. I don't know. Crazy times we live in. A lot of people, and I get it. Hey, that's something you want to do. Kudos to you. But, a lot of people are removing their music from Spotify because of how they felt about Joe Rogan, how they felt about the vaccine, how they felt about the flu shot, how politics played a role in this. And politics has nothing to do with your music being streamed. My podcast shows, we're never talking about politics on my podcast show because I don't mix that. That's not a good mix. Now, before we wrap up the show, and hopefully this wasn't really a rant to you guys, but I like to talk about my stories because you guys you genuinely enjoy the stories. And I really do enjoy doing these shows and giving you guys the stories. Of course, you guys want to know what really grinds my gears? People who smoke cigarettes. Now, I'm not criticizing folks that smoke cigarettes because I know quite a few people that smoke cigarettes around this world. I'm not a cigarette smoker because I have asthma, so I'm definitely not picking up a cigarette. But I know some people, I'm not going to put them on blast on the show, but I know quite a few people who smoke cigarettes, and that's your prerogative. That's something you want to do. Hey, you go do it. That's your business. But you want to know what really grinds my gear? And I'm talking to the Atlanta drivers out here. If you are living in Atlanta, shout out to y'all. Give a applause out for Atlanta. So if you are an Atlanta driver, shout out to you because we have one of the most horrific traffic in Atlanta of all time. So, what really grinds my gears, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans who's watching K.L.P tonight, thinking that I'm a very funny man. What really grinds my gears, that really gets on my nerves, my last nerve, is when I'm driving down the highway and I'm right behind somebody who's smoking a cigarette and they toss it outside their window. Can I get an amen? Thank you. So I hate that so much, ladies and gentlemen. And I encourage people to stop, not only in Atlanta, but around the world. If you are smoking, this is PSA now. If you are smoking inside your car on a dangerous highway, whether it's here in Atlanta, 285, 85, 316, 20, 75, you guys know them highways for sure. If you are smoking in your car, driving down the highway, please do not throw your cigarettes out the door, because that happened to me on my way to the studio. I got really mad, and I just told my producer, I want to talk about this towards the end of the show. I'm driving, and I'm doing my thing. I'm driving down, trying to get to the studio because I know we got the show to do. This woman in front of me, smoking a cigarette, tosses it. And you know, when you're going down a fast highway, 285, going down a fast highway, your cigarette burns to the ground and it sparks up. And the spark got on my car. And I get nervous with that kind of stuff because I believe in fire touching metal, a hot engine metal being the hood of the car. Spark up and flames will go in. If you're running over a flame, your tire might get flammable and burn up. That stuff scares the living crap out of me. And I really wish people will stop doing that. That really should be against the law. I'm talking to the mayor of Atlanta, governor of Georgia. I guess maybe he's listening. I doubt he's listening. But please make it illegal for people to stop throwing their cigarette buds outside the car right behind somebody, because it makes us nervous. It makes me nervous that my car will catch on fire. It makes me nervous that my tires will catch on fire. It makes me nervous that maybe the flame gets on the car next to me, catches on fire. The driver freaks out, spins into me and crashes into me, and now it's one big dumpster fire. I really, really wish people will stop doing that. People in Atlanta, keep your cigarettes in your car. It's your cigarette. You're smoking it. Take it out in your car. There's a way. Cars nowadays, because my car does have this, and I don't use it because I don't smoke cigarettes, but some cars do have an ashtray. So if you need to dispose of your cigarette in your car, the safest way you can do it is putting it in your ashtray in your car, and you clean it out later. Instead of throwing it out on a busiest highway, it sparks up and you see the flame. You can really see the flames wanting to spark up. So I really hate that. Number one, you're polluting our air. You're polluting our highways here in Atlanta. You're putting people at risk. And honestly, when somebody has done that, and I'm a honker, guys, if I see somebody driving dumb, swerving, driving too slow, throwing the cigarette out the window, I'm honking like crazy, like a madman. I'm honking at you at least 5 times, looking at you crazy, because it's unsafe. You're putting people's lives at risk because you're done with your cigarette. I'm just gonna toss it out the window and good luck, and I'm gonna keep it moving. Little PSA, if I was governor, I would make that really illegal. If a cop catches you that, I think you should be pulled over for that. I think you should get a ticket, because honestly, that is an endangerment of others around the environment, especially on one of the busiest highways, 285, Atlanta, Georgia. So that's what really grinds my gears, y'all. And I really hope you guys don't do that. If you do that, please don't do that. Don't put people's lives at danger. Keep it to yourself. It's your cigarette. You want to smoke it, you take it out in your car and you dispose of it later. That just grinds my gears. Next time that happens to me on 285, I'm honking at people like a madman, because I can't stand that. I can't stand that people don't care about other folks and they just care about themselves and put other people in danger. I can't stand that with a passion. That drives me nuts. So PSA to ladies and gentlemen out there, please don't do that. Keep it in your car. That's all I say. So that's going to wrap it up here Of course, K.L.P tonight. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed today's show. I had fun doing the show. There's a lot that has happened. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed K.L.P tonight. Of course, every Saturday, we're going to be doing this episode, giving you guys an exclusive from the stage, exclusive from the cameras, the lights, the cameras, the setup, the producers. We're keeping it raw for you guys on K.L.P tonight because I think you guys enjoy the show. Please, if you're watching the show on YouTube, Daily Motion, and Spotify video, of course, share the video with your friends, like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube and Daily Motion channels at K.L.P Entertainment. And also, if you're listening to the audio version of it and not really much of an audio, Amazon Music has it, Audible will have it, iTunes will have the audio version. Also, share it with your friends too, so that way you guys can hear the sweet sounds of K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. Of course, we're going to wrap it up this week for K.L.P. Entertainment. Come back to us on Monday night. When we come back Monday night, we'll be doing K.L.P. Aftermath Season 2, the next episode for the next week. So, of course, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This has been K.L.P. Tonight with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. As always, have a great night. Drink water every 15 minutes. Stay swanky.